And with me this evening is Mr. Void. So, for those of you that don't know who was just talking right now, that was Mr. Void. Feel free to get started.
Everyone, my first time commenting, so bear with me if anything happens. And we start right away with just a big 20.
Now, with this being the standard mode, we only have one option for how to proceed forward. It's a rainy night here in Hyrule, and gonna have to go check on the old man and see what kind of trouble he's gotten himself into. The good thing is, unlike an open mode or most other modes,
Wow,
the
wow.
uncle is guaranteed to have a weapon of some kind.
And we got the boat today, and actually, Signum's got some bomb drop.
Ooh.
Relin also got it.
Not the best item, but not the worst for the escape sequence. The bow at least opens up the potential for Eastern Palace to be done right out of
Yeah,
the gate.
I believe bow is way better than, let's say, Cane of Berna or Ice Rock.
Oh yeah, there's definitely more problematic things that the uncle could give, but I think the issue is ammunition, perhaps. With starting with 30 arrows, it might not be too bad, but you kind of have to watch yourself and can't just go firing at will, taking everything out with the bow.
Yeah, and our runners got in the first part of escape some bombs, so at least the back of the escape is going to be open for them.
Yeah, definitely a good thing with the bombs. So, as you mentioned, the back of the escape, there's 3 chests there, and there's a fairly good chance that we're going to see something of value because right now everything's wide open, and the only thing that we know right now is the runners after the escape might be able to go over to Eastern Palace, but we'll see how the escape sequence develops out.
Yeah, do you think because of the bow they are going to go for the old man closet first before hitting Kakariko?
I don't think so. I really feel that the natural progression, again, the items we see could change everything. But the high item density of Kakariko Town, it just
About
makes it, something of a no-brainer where you're just not going to ignore the massive amount of items that you could end up getting. And it looks like we have Oghnim's Bane here, the Bugnet showing up. Zelda, I guess, being kidnapped while she was out doing a little bug catching.
Yeah, and you know, if you got Bugnet at the beginning before Sword, it's a Naga seed with Bugnet.
Well, as much as I am definitely rooting for an Aga seed, nothing's set in stone quite yet, so we'll see how it all develops out.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's still tons of places in the overworld to check.
I think we're going to need to see a lantern, maybe something hiding on the lumberjack cave, and I believe 2 swords is generally the parts of a recipe for an Aga required seed.
Or Magic Cape if you find it.
Ah, yes.
Well, our first runner is going for the back of escape, the dark rooms.
Well, the good thing is, since this is the standard mode, Zelda gives Link a lantern-like effect for this part of the game. It is only useful in this section of the escape, as once Zelda separates from Link in the Sanctuary, Link will not be able to, unless he otherwise has the lantern, use this effect anywhere else in the game.
Yeah, that only happens in standard openings. It helps the runners, but after this part, they just need to find it if they want to see in the dark.
It's entirely possible, given the quality of runners on our restream tonight, we may see a bunch of dark rooms without any kind of vision in the way of a lantern.
Oh, we got Quake, 50 rupees, and a piece of heart.
Well, not the worst, but it's an item. It's the Quake medallion, so potential
PR or
entry
Mr. Meyer?
requirement for Misery Mire or Turtle Rock, if they end up being crystals. We'll see if we can get through the front door, as it were.
Just a piece of heart in Sanctuary, and both runners, like Simo and Days, sub 6 minutes. It's like a very good time, actually, for us.
Yeah, it looks like a piece of heart coming out of the sanctuary chest. So we'll see our first map check. It looks like didn't quite pause the stream in time, so we'll see if anyone else takes a map check.
Yeah, I
Looks
didn't
like
see it
Eastern
either.
Palace and Desert Palace are crystals. Tower of Hera a pendant. And Simo seems to be headed into the Lost Woods.
And we found the lamp, so no more dark rooms.
Well, it looks like we're baking up our recipe to find an Aghanim seed. So we have the lamp. Now we just need a pointy object or two.
Or a cave. But
Correct.
we got Blue Pendant, Inter, and Hera, and I think it was the 5-6 crystal in Desert. East. Yep, both red crystals in the light.
Oh wow! So both of our 5-6 crystals in the light world, and it looks like we already have access to one of them with the bow. So that should be able to get us. Well, if we can get to Eastern Palace, we should be able to take down the Armos Knights in short order. It looks like we're into Kakariko, Simo into Blind's Hut, as well as Dazed Cloud.
Wow, oh, a lot of health. This is going to be a very defensive seat, actually.
So we have a heart, a piece of heart, completing a second heart. And we have the blue mail on Simo's side, and Dazed Cloud as well. Rowland Tank here about to pick up these items as well.
The only thing I see is I don't see progression here.
No, but
There's a lot of places to check.
with Eastern Palace potentially open, we could go down into the well, find something there, as Simo's doing, and Dazed Cloud soon to follow.
Rupees and a piece of heart. We got the book. Desert is open. Kano Brian. And flippers.
Flippers open up Zora's domain, part of Swamp Palace if we need to get there. It looks like we're lacking in Dark World access items, so it may just be Aghanim that gets us our Dark World access, or so I can hope.
We all are expecting that Daga seed coming. Chicken Hut, just more bombs.
Yeah, Signum's a little bit behind Roland Tank here, Dazed Cloud, and Simo at this point, just heading into the well. So far, I don't believe any of our runners have come across a bottle, so we won't be able to check the sick kid just yet. So it looks like we're going to head down toward the library and the racing game in short order. The bottle vendor giving us a piece of heart.
They have already 6 hearts at the less than 10-minute mark. I didn't see what's in the library. What was it?
I'll give you a hint. It is a blunt object and is used to hammer pegs down with.
Is it the hookshot?
Incorrect, sir.
No, the hammer in the library.
So that is a pretty key item in the library, not gonna lie.
So we need, well, depending on the crystals in the Dark War, if pot is not needed, no, you still need hammer. It's all a required item always.
I can't see how it's not a required item, but I think we might be able to bake together a scheme where we can somehow not have the hammer. But let's see. I think we need it to get to Palace of Darkness. We definitely need it for Turtle Rock.
Swamp Palace.
And Swamp Palace.
And Ice Palace. So yeah, you need it.
So there's no way for... Yeah, as Math Girl points out in the chat, it's needed for 4 dungeons, and only 3 could be pendants, so just by that process of elimination alone, we definitely need the hammer, which means we definitely need the book.
Mini Moldorn got a piece of heart, Bombos, 300 rupees, a big 20, and a blue.
And it looks like Sahasrala's Closet paying out big time. A couple pointy objects, but one slightly different from the other. That's a sword. That's a hook shot on Roland Tankier's side.
Favorite fetch quest, the mushroom. We got the first dungeon deep. We're going to Eastern. It's fully clearable right now. It is in logic.
So let's see. We had hookshot, sword, and mushroom in Sahasrala's closet. Looks like Simo's gonna check out the Ice Rod Cave.
Ooh, Fire Rod in Ice Rod.
Wait a second. Isn't that supposed to be the Ice Rod Cave, not the Fire Rod Cave?
Well,
I guess we could rename it for the time being. Simo seems to have a little bit different idea from the rest of our other runners. It looks like Signum's checking the dam. Roland Tankier and Days Cloud are both into Eastern Palace.
yeah, being a red crystal and fully clearable right now, it's a good option. You find 3 items there. It's a good play for them.
Well, it's definitely going to give them some level of progression if it only ends up being one of the crystals that are going to be required to take down Ganon. But Signums and Simo might long-term be on the right track, but it looks like Simo striking out with the hobo under the bridge, borrowing what looked to be 5 rupees.
Yeah, but Signum's got the power gloves in the dam.
Ooh, that's a beautiful pickup on Signum's side, because that'll help him get into the Dark World.
Did you see what's in the Lake Island?
I did not.
It's a moon pearl.
Oh, nice.
Now we have our Dark World access. We only need the mirror.
Well, here's to the mirror not showing up anytime soon. Well, that looked like a moon pearl in the waterfall cave.
What's the other thing? Don't mind me.
Might have been a. You might have confused a moon pearl with a red bottle.
Oh, it could be. It could be. Sorry, guys.
No, definitely two similarly looking items. Easy to confuse them, so don't worry about it. It happens. And it looks like Signum's going into Desert Palace first, as Roland Tankier and Daze Cloud are making their way through Eastern Palace.
Let's see if Desert Palace is not Boots luck. Just 10 arrows on the first chest in Desert.
And now we'll see if. Oh no, it looks like Signum's
It's
might be
Boots
boots
luck.
locked.
Yeah, because the big key should be on the east side now. And Day is going for the Armor's Knight, the first fight, the first boss fight.
Yeah, so we see a nice little choreographed dance that Dazed Cloud is just absolutely ruined, picking up our first crystal just before looks like 16 minutes into our run. And Roland Tankier pretty close behind as Signums gets out of Desert Palace. Simo is into Eastern Palace. So this will be interesting to see where our runners go, because with Eastern Palace down and no progression found, that might send our runners over toward Desert Palace, and that's not going to work out too well. But it looks like Dazed Cloud might be headed toward the dam.
Yeah, you still need. Well, we have Dead Mountain access, even just Old Man in Spectacle. Simo didn't check Sora, right?
Sahasrahla.
No, I mean when Simo was in the fairy fountain, did
No,
he
he
go
did
to?
not have. He does not have enough money to check Zora, and did
Uh,
not go up to check Zora's ledge either. I believe Signums has enough money to head that
oh,
way.
did you see that on Days Cloud screen?
Oh, on the witch's hut? No, I did not.
We got a cape.
So that might put Ognem 1 into play, and I'm all for this action here because we know Desert Palace is cut off, and it looks like Daze Cloud. No, you need to not have the flippers to set up that Houlihan glitch. So it looks like Daze Cloud getting denied access into the Houlihan room. Signum's picking up the fire rod in the ice rod cave as Simo seems to be making their way through Eastern Palace. It'll be interesting to see who kind of blinks first and heads into Zora's domain.
I believe Signums is going there right now.
Yeah, it looks like taking the whirlpool up toward the waterfall cave, and as he does have over 500 rupees, I'm going to assume we're going to have a visit toward Zora as Signums picks up the Moon Pearl, and we'll see if he's going to participate in the Zora investment program.
Let's see what the scam fish got. And also Days got her ether power. And Roland is going to get it soon. Just a piece
Ooh,
of heart.
that's a shame. Never want to see a Ponzi scheme like that. Hopefully, we can call the authorities and get that shut down. But unfortunately for Signums, he's not going to get those 500 rupees back, as Simo is about ready to head into the Armos Knights fight.
Yeah, and Days also has his 500 rupees. He might try to do Sora too, but well, at least they're going to get the Moon Pearl for it. And that was a clean fight on Simo's side. Oh, Days went first for the Fire Rod.
Yeah, Days Cloud picking up our Fire Rod. And it looks like Signums is going to finally make his way into Eastern Palace. Simo headed to turn in the mushroom, so that should work out pretty well.
Do you think after he picks his cape, is he's going to Sora?
It seems like he's in the area. It's very likely that Simo's going to pick up the Witch's Hut cape for turning in the mushroom. Oh no, and choosing to save and quit instead. Interesting play, but Dazed Cloud picking up the Moon Pearl in the Waterfall Cave, and it looks like he's our next sucker for the Zora investment Ponzi scheme. Roland Tank here, trying to make his way through desert. We'll see if he can actually make some headway there. Looks like, we have the Canis Samaria on the desert ledge.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't see that one. Nice.
I think Simo might be living the dream here, but looks like he's going for Ognum.
Well, you have very few options right now. Besides Dead Mountain, what else do you have?
Well, Simo did not check the dam, which would give him the gloves. Moon Pearl plus gloves might have changed his mind. Roland Tankier found his way into the Houlihan room. So it looks like he's gathering up some rupees so that he can donate them over to Zora. This is either an absolutely brilliant play by Simo or a gigantic oopsie daisy. We'll see which with some of the other checks from our runners. It looks like Roland Tank here headed into Mini Moldorb Cave, and with hookshot in hand, going to make pretty short work of these Mini Moldorms. And Simo definitely does not have the gloves. He did not visit the dam. And I think he's concluded that he has the cape and no Dark World access otherwise. Which is.
See his face up.
And getting a hint, hey, you already have this item. Surprise.
Well, Days got a piece of heart inside of Spectacle Rock.
So we'll see what the hint is on Days Cloud's side. Looks like Roland Tank here is about to scam himself. Might be heading in to pick up a fire rod.
Yes, you had it. And Simo is going for the wizard. Wanna play a game?
You know what? Let's go for it. I think, yeah, let's play a game. Let's see how many times Simo gets trolled by Aghanim in this Aghanim 1 fight. So let's get some numbers in chat to see how many times Aghanim does not throw a reflectable shot toward Simo.
I'm gonna go with 4. There's
one.
one.
Well, 5's always my number, so that's 2. Signum's finishing off Eastern Palace.
The required thunder. Oh,
And it
Signums
looks-
is going to check Lumberjack.
And it looks like Dazed Cloud found his way into the Paradox Cave, and looks like a second shield. Oh, that's a flute.
Yeah.
Dazed Cloud finding the flute in Paradox Cave.
But without the gloves, the Titan needs. It doesn't open much. And there goes Saga. I missed the count. How many blue balls were?
Yeah, unfortunately, I shifted over to see what Dazed Cloud was going to get in the Paradox Cave, and I lost count. So hopefully, chat can bail us out here on. It looks like Roland Tankir is about to brace for impact. Big 20 on the Zora's ledge for all the runners going in there. Should have kind of paid attention to see what was there.
Have a heart in pyramid. And Spiral is the last place we can check in live work.
Well,
Some bombs.
So,
Simo
is
going for
Aghanim
catfish.
really the right play here?
It seems so.
Wow,
But
so Simo making a brilliant deduction. Not sure how, but Simo's the first one of our runners into the Dark World, so we'll see what he can do with this advantage.
the only problem is Simo doesn't have the gloves.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem, but it doesn't look like anything's stopping him from getting into the village of outcasts.
There are plenty of checks there. You also have Skullwood.
But what may need to happen for Simo is if Swamp Palace is a pendant, that is going to be absolutely devastating for him because I don't think he would otherwise go to the dam to pick up the gloves that we're almost certain he's going to need in one way, shape, or form.
Well, if he can route going to desert from Link's house, he might go for the dam.
So it looks like Misery Mire is a pendant, along with... Oh no, that's an SP as a pendant, so that's Swamp Palace. That's a pendant, but it looks like Simo might be headed toward Skull Woods and a date with Mothula.
Starting with the back is a good option when you have the fire rod.
So now it's gonna, Simo's got a little bit of an unfortunate case situation here because I can't see how he's gonna make his way back to the dam to pick up what could eventually be the Titan's mitts. Oh no.
The Wall Master grabbed him. Segnum's got the flute.
And I think Dazed Cloud is going to get the bad news that he's going to be boots locked in Desert Palace.
Well, at least they're going to get the King of Samaria from the ledge. I hope so.
Yeah, Dazed Cloud about to get the bad news, but hopefully he does not just save and quit out. Going to pick up the hint tile.
Thanks, game.
And it looks like he will head out to the desert ledge. So Dazed Cloud will be able to get the Cane of Samaria sitting on the desert ledge. Looks like Signum's is into Spiral Cave.
Simo starting with Motula with Fire Sword is not that easy, but with Blue Mail and 10 hearts. 9 hearts, sorry. Maybe doable.
Now, this is one of those cases where being at the witch's hut and not having a bottle makes me want to, just kind of frown, because the main way I would want to take Mothula down right now is to use the fire rod, and you have no way to refill magic at this point without a bottle of green or blue goo.
But Simo put it up, and just some sticks from it. But we got our second crystal.
But yeah, Simo, some pretty good execution there, taking down Mothula with just the fighter sword. A little bit of a help from the fire rod, but that's definitely a very difficult fight, given the tools that Simo had to work with. But that will be the second crystal. Skull Woods being claimed for Simo.
And Dazed Cloud stars with Aga going for the castle. A burrito in the back of Skullwood.
So it looks like Dazed Cloud gonna be on their way up the Walk of Shame through Hyrule Castle to visit Ognum. It looks like Roland Tankir possibly has something in mind. Might be...
Activate the flute, maybe?
Yeah. That's definitely going to be the flute for Roland Tankir. I'm not sure what he would be able to do with it that would lead him away from potentially just heading into Hyrule Castle to take on Ognum.
Well, seeing that this is a Naga seat, do you think the dream is going to become true and we are going to have a pet seat?
All right, well, we've got to see what our pendants are. So Misery Mire, Swamp Palace, and Tower of Hera. So
Boots?
what are we...
Boots could be a pet. No, because Boots opens Hammer.
Yeah, the hammer's going to block a lot. So the hammer's out. We know where that is.
Mirror is out.
Mirror's out.
Ice
Boots out. We know where that is. That could be. Ice Rod might be our best hope for a pedestal seed, because it's only needed for Turtle Rock to take on Trinex.
Or if Mr. Meyer or Turtle Rock are either locked, either medallion, That's the
Yeah,
other
if
option.
Ether Medallion would be the medallion required for Turtle Rock, that's another viable option.
So the pet is not dead yet, chat.
So the PED has a very limited amount of items that it could be that would require our runners to grab it, but
Pizza
it's still
Hut,
alive. The
the
two
bum
things
shelf.
we don't know what the entry requirement is for Turtle Rock, but if it's Ether, that Ether medallion could very well be on the pedestal as well as the ice rod. So it looks like Signum's, Days Cloud, and Roland Tankier are all now at various points of the Ognum ascent up Hyrule Castle to gain Dark World access. Days Cloud finishing off Ognum. Roland Tankier and Signum's making their way up. But there goes one of our great hopes, the Ether Medallion, showing its face in Thieves Town.
Well, I still have my hopes up.
So our hopes and dreams are pretty much all hinging on the ice rod not showing up anywhere, ever, except on the pedestal.
Consolation prize is in Laser Bridge. Oh, the map checker. I didn't see it. Ah, well, we have already.
Well, we know where our 5-6 crystals are, and that's Eastern and Desert Palace. We know
Pendant is in
Swamp Palace is our green pendant. Tower of Hera and Misery Mire are our other pendants.
Meanwhile, Simmons and Rodin doing Aga 1.
Yeah, almost in a perfect sync between the pair. Looks like Signum's is a fraction of a second ahead.
Yeah, but you're doing great right now. Oh, well, that's
So,
actually always needed.
yeah, so Swamp Palace Big Key requires the hammer. Not the most useful hint.
Just one chest before, but sure.
Yeah, these hints have been absolutely garbage for most of this run so far. It looks like Dazed Cloud heading through Skull Woods as Simo's making their way through.
Basement of Thief Town.
Yeah, it looks like Roland Tankier might have a little issue. Might be frozen. Don't want to speculate too much on that one, but Signum's making their way into the Dark World, having a go at the map, and confirming the red pendant is Misery Mire.
Yeah. What do you think about going to Thief Town without the hammer?
Ah,
Oh, and Simo doesn't have the gloves, so he cannot take the shortcut.
yeah, Simo's getting blocked off here by not having any glove. But I agree with it and I disagree with it. And I'll qualify what I have to say. Thieves Town is a pendant, so if I can do Thieves Town, sure, why not? It's a pendant, but I think overlooking the dam for Simo is gonna, cost him. excuse me, not a pendant. It's a crystal.
Yeah.
Minor details. I'm get more than one thought in my goldfish little brain and go right off the deep end. But it is a crystal, so I need the crystal to finish the game. But
Catfish scamming us, Azora, just a couple of rounds.
this is going to be...
This is going to take some time. Without the hammer, without boots.
Yeah, that's what's weighing on me, is the time that's wasted by Simo. Although he was the first to divine that it was an Aga seed, so he does have a little bit of a time advantage, but it feels like he's giving a lot of that advantage away by doing Thieves Town in a very suboptimal manner. But that said, I can't argue with the results because Simo has 3 crystals. But
Yes. He has the lead on bosses, but those power gloves are going to hurt him. And they's
that's
taking
not
a
something you
death
want
on
to see.
Mothula.
Yeah, Days Cloud taking a death to Mothula, that is not very good.
Yeah, he's going for a better weapon, it seems, and leaving Mott for the moment. I mean, Mott is really hard with the fighter sword.
So it looks like Roland Tankier is going to follow in Days Cloud footsteps, head off to Skull Woods. Simo's going to do a little digging.
Just a piece of heart.
Yeah, 16 digs and a piece of heart. But Simo can't lift the rock away to go on Jeremiah's world tour, so we might see...
Stumping?
Yeah, that's about the only thing that I think Simo can really do at this point.
Oh, he also can go to Hype Cape.
Well,
Magnum's going back of Thiefstone, and Days almost as much again.
Yeah, let's see how hyped the Hype Cave will be for us here. Is Simo going to be the first one into Hype Cave?
Have some bomb. No, not very
good
high.
so far.
Piece of heart. 20 rupees. Gloves. The first gloves. So we know what
Oh, wow.
gold gloves are, but that's like we need those. So
For Simo, that's 4 out of 10 because that glove kind of bails Simo out.
barely, but how much he's going to take to go for the other ones in the light side of where he is.
Now, Simo into Swamp Palace to pick up the hit tile. Gotcha. There's another winner of a hint. A piece of heart can be bought. By Zora, no less.
Could be the bottle vendor.
Oh, that's true. The bottle vendor had a piece of heart as well, so that hint doubly true. Both the bottle vendor and Zora giving piece of heart.
Simo is going for the dam.
So I think Simo just realized, oh, I did not check the dam. This is probably a good idea right now. So there's 20 rupees, but what he's going to find outside might give him another significant advantage, as that should be Titan's mitts for Simo once he goes outside. So the question here is, how many rage slashes from Simo? Oh, surprisingly none, but does this
This
put
one.
Desert Palace back in? No, we need boots for that.
But it puts Meyer. Simo doesn't have the flute yet.
No flute and no mirror, so Myers out. Agina's Cave looks to be the immediate play for Simo.
Why do you need the mirror for Meyer?
Well, it's the one of the only two ways to get into Meyer, isn't it? Unless I'm going silly and just, you
That is
know,
for Desert Palace, isn't it?
well, and then you mirror over to Meyer, don't you? Or you mirror from Meyer to Desert Palace.
Yes, you need the book or mirror for Desert Palace. But with the flute and the Titans, you can grab the little rock and you're there. And we have the three medallions already. So Meyer could be the play now with Kane in hand.
Yeah, it looks like Simo's going to head into Desert Palace, but unfortunately for him, he's still going to be boots locked.
Sadly, but yeah.
Uh,
Signum's going for Kane strats on blind and finished in a perfect.
yeah, so Signums is going to join the Two Crystal Club along with Roland Tankier and Dazed Cloud as both of those runners make their way through Thieves Town. Signum's yet to head into Skull Woods, so it's fairly likely he might head over that way.
He's going places and not Skullwood.
Oh, looks like Signum's headed over to the digging game. Unfortunately, this is not going to work out very well. So we'll see Simo, realizing that they are boots locked, going to check the desert ledge and get rewarded with the Cane of Samaria. I can only assume an immediate save and quit, and then we'll see where Simo heads off after coming back in from the sanctuary.
I noticed that Simo is going maybe for Dead Mountain, and since he has the Titan's meat, he could check Dark Side, Dark World, Dead Mountain also.
Yeah, it looks like that might be exactly what Simo's doing. There are a lot of items. With Hookshot, that opens Hookshot Cave. And here we go. Simo
That
make their
card.
way up to Death Mountain.
Signum's going for Hype Cape.
Yeah, I think for our other runners, Simo, I give it a little bit higher of a grade because he needed the gloves, and it kind of bailed him out and put him back on the right track, heading over to the dam after the hype cave. Our other runners will only get, well, I really shouldn't say only get the Titan's mitts. It's almost as if I'm trivializing the Titan's mitts, but there's nothing else of value in the hype cave. So I want to say maybe a 3 of 10, just one item, but it is a pretty big one.
Yeah. Also, we could be cataloged as a happy accident since Simo may go for the Dark Side, Dark Dead Mountain, and Signums may go for Meyer, depending. No? Yes. He's floating. He's going for Meyer. Meyer is Bombos.
Well, I think the pendants at this point are trivial, just because all four of our restreamed runners have them all. Oh, there we go. Meyer
So Meyer
shed.
shed. Then I'll 7 quit at the moment. Signum's going for Hammer.
Yeah, I would be immediately into Kakariko to pick up the hammer in the library.
Days Cloud finishing blind.
Looks like Signum's
King's Tomb.
gonna check
Let's
a
go driving.
couple outliers like the King's Tomb, like you said.
It's rootable there. You got a piece of heart. Simo is going to get the flute.
Yeah, I believe the shield and a flute were the Paradox Cave items. Looks like Rollin Tank here picking up Thieves Town crystals, so we should see some parity in the near future between our runners, all basically on 3 crystals, but Simo, I think, has a slight advantage for the time being, as Rollin Tank here does not yet have Titan's Mitts, and Simo does compared to our other restream runners, well, aside from Signum's.
The Walk on Shame of Spiral Cave.
Yeah, this is unfortunately Simo. I don't think is going to get very much out of this particular trek into Spiral Cave. Signum's making an argument to be in the lead with having the boots and the hammer now.
Where do you go with Hammer now? You can go
just about anywhere you want. It looks like
we are just Ice Rod for go mode. No, and a better sword.
Mirror?
What do you need mirror for?
Well, that's why I'm kind of asking it as a question more so than anything, because I guess we have the portal near Turtle Rock to get to Ganon's tower. I don't think we're blocked anywhere else. So
we need a better sword, one sword upgrade, and Ice Rod, I think, and we're. And when doing Mayor Dip, no, just open for the sake of it.
I think Mirror may just be more of like a quality of life upgrade than a needed item at this point, but
yeah,
we definitely don't really. I guess the shovel could be a thing we need at some point.
if you like
shovel,
yeah.
Gating off, the dig spot.
Well, we got a bottle. We got a bottle on Hookshot Cave, and Simu's going. Seekit is open now. Chat can pointing out. And Simo can root it with the flute. Also, Signum's going for pot. There are a lot of checks there, and it can be full clear.
Well, it looks like Simo making a beeline for the sick kid at this point. Rollin Tank here picking up Titan's Mitts. So the last of our runners to pick up Titan's Mitts. Days Cloud checking the catfish and getting a group of bombs. I am going to stand at attention while the Hylian national
Everyone
anthem
salute.
plays. So with that, I believe all of our runners have the goose on the loose. Simo, the last of our runners to activate the flute. I think Simo's going to check the sick kid before heading off to parts unknown.
And we got the red mail. A blue bottle on pot. And Roland is going to get their boots.
So Simo just seems to be
On the right
making all of the right plays at this point, because this is the Meyer shed. This will give him the boots, which will also unlock the hammer if he remembers they were hiding in the library.
I missed the hint on pot. Okay, Firelog Meyer is down now.
It feels like Signums is trying to dig for Ice Rod. With Desert Palace in play, the only thing I could think of is a potential Pyramid Fairy being the only other spot that's out of the way where we could see the Ice Rod show up in.
There are some places where it could still be like, well, we have Turtle Rock, we have half of pot still missing, right side, desert. The Arrow of Destiny for Roland. The Riot Shield.
Yeah, Signum's finding the Riot Shield in, I believe he's in Misery Mire, so maybe just kind of saying, all right, well, why not? Let's just call it an Aga Seed, Ped Seed, GG Easy. I'm going to go into Misery Mire and collect my first pendant.
Oh, Master Sword on pot. We got our second sword.
Oh, Signum's in Palace of Darkness. Excuse me, I thought he was in Misery Mire.
Don't worry.
Makes a little more sense to be doing Palace of Darkness since it's another crystal. So we'll see who can win the race to pick up their fourth crystal at this point. Roland Tankier headed into Desert Palace, which I personally think would have been the right play.
Ooh, silvers on pot, big chest.
So
if
it looks
our
like
runners can get their sword.
Signum's picking up the silver arrows, so I think that all but kills any nonsense with potentially having to do a silverless Ganon. We may still have to do it with the Master Sword, the way things are going right now, but at least the very end part is taken care of now. Silver's out of the way. Oh, and we have a third sword showing up. Roland Tankier picking one up in Desert Palace.
So our runners are going for temper at least because it's required.
Yeah, so we're going to see our runners picking up those swords in Pod and Desert Palace, respectively. So I think the Ganon fight is getting significantly easier with what we've just seen with Signums and Roland Tankier showing us where the silvers and another one of the swords are, respectively. So once their powers combine, it won't exactly be Captain Planet, but it'll be a decent tempered sword silvers taking on Ganon.
with blue mail or red mail, depending if they check secret.
Yeah,
But we still are looking for the ice rock. Where could it be?
well, my hopes and dreams lay entirely on Pedestal because it would only be right if we had an Aga required, Ped required daily seed. And it looks like Simo is going to pick up their Master Sword. Signum's into the Helmasaur King fight.
You need 17 hits with the hammer to
Well, I
take
think
on
he
the.
can boop his nose with the Master Sword as well.
Ooh, taking a hit to spot. One silver to the head, and he's down.
So Rowland Tankier finishing off Desert Palace just ever so slightly before Signums is able to finish off Palace of Darkness. So Rowland Tankier on the crystals front taking the lead with 4 crystals, but that might be a little bit of false hope, as it were. Rowland Tankier may need to do a little work to maintain this lead. But it looks like Ice Palace next on the menu for Roland Tankier. Oh
It's a
no.
good play. It's full durable, and Simo died.
Yeah, Simo taking a death, and I don't think that was in any way intentional. But,
And Mimic Cave is dead. Some cash in Mimic Cave. Peng alligators, right?
yeah, the Pengators.
Pengators, and we have the big key.
So it looks like Roland Tankier making their way through Ice Palace. So potentially picking up a 5th crystal on Roland Tankier's side. Simo making their way through to the end of Palace of Darkness to meet up with Daze Cloud taking on the Helmasaur King. Daze
Sagnum is
Cloud.
going for their temper.
Yeah, it looks like Signum's going to pick up a Tempered Sword as well as the Desert Palace Crystal in a couple minutes.
There goes Helmasaur King for days.
So Signum's going to pick up his 4th crystal after finishing Palace of Darkness. Going to head into hopefully the Lanmolas fight in the near future. So Signums will have his 4th after finishing off Desert Palace. Simo will have their 4th finishing off Palace of Darkness. Daze Cloud headed back in for items, it looks like, in Palace of Darkness.
He didn't grab the back. He doesn't have the Master Sword. Simo with Helmasaur King.
So it looks like Simo going with the boop the nose strategy, whereas Signums and Days Cloud going with the bonk the nose strategy.
And Helmasaur King down for Simo. That's their 4 crit.
So that will be Simo's 4th crystal. Rollin Tankier probably in the lead right now as he's a good way through Ice Palace. Signum still has Skull Woods kind of lingering out there, but looks like going to be the 4th crystal for Signums in Desert Palace.
Normal down.
And it looks like Rollin Tankier has picked up the mirror, so a little bit of a quality of life upgrade. As Days Cloud gets another quality of life upgrade as well, picking up the silver arrows.
Simos and Days going for Desert. Rollin almost finishing Ice.
Yeah, so we'll see 2 of our runners into Desert Palace, as it looks like Signum's heading up toward Skull Woods at this point. Rollin Tankier about to secure their 5th crystal, about to head into Cold Stare's fight at the end of Ice Palace.
Oh, he's going for Bombas first, so they have some shots.
Yeah, between the hammer and or the fire rod, you can use those items to hopefully keep Cold Stare in check. But it looks like Cold Stare able to break away, unfortunately, from Rollin Tankier, which doesn't seem to cause too much trouble, as getting enough damage in before they broke off from each other.
They got it. 5th crystal for Rollin.
I'm kind of liking this because every time we get a check, that pedestal becomes more and more likely. I'm almost hoping a runner might just happen to wander over there and have a check of the pedestal as Signums picks up the Redarang on his way through Skull Woods. And it looks like Rollin Tankier headed into the dark. Not sure what he's got in mind here. Jeremiah's World Tour, perhaps.
Could be Hammer Packs.
With the mirror in hand, not going to be all that great of a world tour, but nonetheless, Rollin Tankier going to take Jeremiah on a little bit of a trip, and we'll see what he's going to deliver for us. We have the Hammerpeg Cave, like you mentioned, and it looks like that's what Rollin Tankier is going to do. And the lunchbox after this whole chain as well.
Can you remind me where the mirror was?
Mirror was in Ice Palace, as
So
chat also saying. Rollin Tankier, the only one of our runners the Ice Palace at this point.
Yeah. If Signoms, well, the routing will be different. I think where the Simo is going.
Let's see. Simos probably ends up doing the same thing Rollin is doing right now. Potentially taking a. This might be the Jeremiah world because Simo does not have the mirror, which Rollin Tank here does. Rollin Tank here looks like they're going to make a bit of a move here.
Is he going to check the big chest?
Simo, I guess so. Simo might have divined that they're missing a item out of Thieves Town.
That's a big gamble that if it pays, it's huge.
Well, Simo's been rolling the dice a lot this seed, divining that it was somehow an August seed early on. And I think he came up sevens on that one. Hype Cave seemed to bail Simo out by giving him the gloves that he orphaned off in the dam area by skipping that over. But I think, for lack of a better term, you go to the well once too often, I think the term is. I think this might not be the best of ideas from Simo, but we'll see.
Well, if it's a big gamble, moment of truth, just 300.
No, sir. Simo whiffing on that one. It looks like Rollin Tank here.
And Gary Lunchbox has just some bombs.
So at this point, I think we're down to Turtle Rock.
And hope for the best in Laser Bridge.
Yeah. So I don't think Swamp Palace is going to be too much of a desirable destination for our runners. The pyramid looks like we had a Bombos tablet check on Rollin Tankier's side.
We have some overworld checks, but they are too sparse. We have Graveyard, Leg, Ether Tablet, Chest in Tower, Pendant Dungeons.
We have a couple outliers in
Spike
what we
Cave?
could check. Spike Cave.
Ooh, Shovel for Fetch Quest? You
Yeah, the
call
dig
it.
spot with the dig spot's live at this point.
Rollin maybe going for Fairy. Pyramid Fairy.
I'm trying to think of everything it could possibly be aside from Ped, and I think the best shot is here for Rollin Tankier. Gonna visit the Pyramid Fairy, and well, I'm obviously hoping it's not an ice rod hiding in the Pyramid Fairy, but we'll see. Ether Tablet is in play as well for Rollin Tankier, and Daze Cloud having the mirror. They could head up to Tower of Hera and the Ether Tablet.
Ooh, Simo is not going to Ice Palace yet. Not necessarily just jet, but a mirror helps a lot routing some stuff. And the Pyramid Fairy has. Well,
No
some
whammy.
sticks
No
and a
whammy.
bomb.
Yeah.
Pet is still alive.
All right. Junk from the Pyramid Fairy. So I'm starting to get my spirits up that we have an Aga and Ped seed. So, the pedestal sitting on life support, but it could be the ice rod. This is,
The dream.
yeah, we might be living the dream here with, we'll see if Simo can dash my dreams here, checking the ether tablet. And those are arrows.
Each check comes closer to being a pet.
So it looks like Simo might be,
For Hera, so there are some quick checks there. It's not a bad play if you're in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but do we start considering clearing out the pendant dungeons at this point? Because if we have a pedestal seed, we're going to see a lot of our runners back into Misery Mire, as well as Tower of Hera and Swamp Palace.
Well, from the other pendant dungeons, Hera is the quickest one, so it's not that bad of the play since we don't have every item we need.
I mean, about the only other thing we could do aside from the pendant dungeons is just kind of grit our teeth and head into Turtle Rock and
Hope for the best and just dip
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Simo doing a bump jump. I never can get that one.
So
Yeah,
looks
Chad.
like
Oh,
looks
sorry.
like Simo's gonna have a go at Moldorm. So we might see our first pendant collected.
Yeah, and like just pointed, Mimikev is dead. It's just some cash.
So it looks like Dazed Cloud is getting jebaited by the big bomb vendor and about to get the bad news that his ice rod is not in the pyramid.
Ooh, there's still one item missing from Hera, and Simo is betting on it.
Yeah, Simo's heading back in, gonna check the basement. Gonna cost him a little coffee break here, but so Simo's gonna pause for station identification. So while he's doing that, we're gonna check in on our other runners. It looks like Daze Cloud heading up Death Mountain. Signum's making their way through Ice Palace, getting yet another wonderful hint of, hey, this item you already have. Here's a reminder of where you found it.
Roland doing the bump jump for the big chest and getting their silvers.
Yeah, Roland Tankier is into Palace of Darkness, picking up silvers and probably not too far away from a tempered sword as well.
Hera basement, dead. It seems Daze is going to deep Turtle Rock now.
All right, I think this is really the last hurdle.
They have to be the play, or
if it's not just the Turtle Rock leap of faith. Ice Rod's got to be buried in either Swamp Palace or the pedestal. As Roland Tankier picking up a tempered sword.
and answering chat. No, pet wasn't checked. The mirror was found in Ice Palace, and The book was in Moldron Game, I believe. In Moldron Game. So neither runner has gone there and checked pet yet. And our first dip to TR.
So it looks like Signum's going to activate Bombos. Looks mysteriously like a fire rod in his inventory item slot there, but I guess switching out the item right as he activates Bombos. So we'll see what ends up happening as Signum's pretty close to picking up that Ice Palace crystal. Rollin Tankier about ready to pick up the Palace of Darkness crystal.
We're checking Big Key from Turtle Rock and Powder.
Ooh, that opens up the magic bat.
Quest everywhere.
Our runners used the mushroom early on to get the cape to get into Hyrule Castle to do Aghanim early on in the seed, so there was no opportunity for fake flippers. Or fake powder.
Yeah, those chain chomps hit like a truck.
I'm a little distracted watching all of the runners and going,
so many places.
Sure, the ice rod doesn't show up and just, completely crush my dreams of this seed.
Roland doing Helmasaur King. One arrow to the head.
Well, Signum's going to get jebaited here by the blacksmith chain. Not going to get much out of this. Nothing for delivering the blacksmith. I don't recall anything in the hammer peg cave.
What amazed me is when you think someone has a lead, something happens and the seed just say nope.
Yeah, you make that one little decision to go a certain way, and then you just kind of get just absolutely denied. Rollin Tank, I thought Simo was in the lead earlier on. Then Rollin Tankier got into the lead. But now we have a situation where if Dazed Cloud finds the ice rod inside of Turtle Rock, which I think we only have the laser bridge left to check at this point, I think that would put Dazed Cloud in the lead because he will have all of the crystals collected and be in perfect position to just head right over to Ganon's Tower.
But if Ice Rod is on pet, Simo has a slight advantage having done her already.
Well, yeah, that's where the real curveball comes into play, because if we have to collect the pendants, well, that just dumps everything right on its head. Sure, Dazed Cloud will have
magic.
Dazed Cloud picking up half magic. Dazed Cloud will have all of his crystals, but he'll also have to go back to pick up, potentially a magic back check with the powder, and then into, we know Tower of Hera has no ice rod. Swamp Palace is the only other outlier aside from the magic bat.
Well, Lesser Reach coming, so...
Let's see. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. No whammy.
No.
Stop on a compass.
And then we have Oh, the ice rod
Move
eraser
it!
win.
Wow!
They start at 124.27. He's in go mode.
Press F to pay respects to the pedestal.
It's a sad day when you don't have an Agas Petsy.
Oh, my dreams destroyed. But this should give Dave's Cloud a pretty clear path to victory. He's about a good minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes ahead of Simo.
But
Well, even more so because Ice Palace, Simo still has to finish. But
yeah. But if Simo got the ice rod here, he can go mode Ice Palace and remember that GT routing. By the way, wanna play a game now that we have our 7 crystal?
yeah, we do still get to play our second game. So with Days Cloud now officially picking up or the 7th crystal, we like to play a game. Since it is a daily race, we won't be using the bot, but a little practice for tournament races for those of you who watch those as well. There are 22 locations that the big key could be in for Ganon's Tower, so you get to pick a number between 1 and 22 and see if you win the lottery of finding the correct number for the big key.
Where do you think it is, Rico?
Well, I know where it isn't, and that's location number 5.
I'm going to go with 15 on this one.
All right. Well, Simo is about to finish off Turtle Rock. Roland Tankier is still doing a couple outlier checks, but here we go. Days Cloud into Ganon's Tower.
We go with the first chest, 20 rupees. 2, a green rupee. No keys, so no right side.
Yeah, so off to the left side for Days Cloud at this point. So Signum's checking the pyramid, not getting anything out of it.
Bob Torch dead. Number 3.
So here we go. Let's see. Number 4. Nope, that's a burrito.
Burrito. 5.
Piece
Piece
of
of
art.
heart.
Oh, come on, Days Cloud. Can't you
6.
go left and right?
I'm sorry. And with the number 6.
I quit. Is there somebody we can get in here?
We don't have anyone with 6, but
I am just done with this seed. No pedestal. Dazed goes the wrong way, and the salt is real. Can we get like the PJ Salt spam? Because I'd love to do it myself, but I'm so salty right now.
don't worry. The closest one with the number 4 was Draco Falconi. Congratulations. You have won a year supplies of rando seeds.
I think we had a 7 by somebody, but I don't know. Yeah, Mr. Yeah, MN Vikings fan 34 guessed 7. So
It's
I don't
below or
know.
above. I don't know if it's closer.
I don't know if we're playing Price is Right rules or not, but I think 7's a little closer to 6 than 4 is. But
Oh, the beat strat for days on the gauntlet. A very clean gauntlet. if I say so myself. And a first cycle landmolds too.
All right. Well, it looks like Dazed Cloud picking up the big key, starting to make their ascent already. I don't think there was much in the way of items you need to really ferret out at this point. Riot Shield, Tempered Sword, Silver Arrows. This should go pretty quickly for Dazed Cloud heading up Ganon's Tower. Although, oh no, it looks like taking a fall there, getting bumped off the conveyor belts.
Yeah, he has an advantage right now, but this isn't over until it's over, so you never know.
Oh, that's very true. Stuff happens with the Ganon fights, that's for certain. Things like taking a fall and having to reset the fight, but it's just like Draco saying in chat, this is Dazed's race. I think it's more he would have to do something to lose the race at this point than any other runner doing something to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory from Dazed Cloud's side.
Don't you love when all the items are collected in the Troll Dorm 2? Going down.
Yeah, so this will be the last chest, and Dazed Cloud just completely ignoring it. Definitely not worth the time. No reason
Go
to
fast.
check it. It looks like Simo gonna be into Ganon's tower second, potentially.
It seems
But it
to,
looks like
yeah.
Dazed Cloud in for a little geometry test here.
A single.
Ooh, that one's a negatory. Not doing too good on that one. Oh no, double
He's
zeros.
not helping. Ooh, nice triple.
Yeah, making up for it with a triple there. Dazed Cloud finishing off Ganon's tower. So this will be Dazed Cloud first into the Ganon fight. Probably a little bit before 1 hour 33 minutes in.
That's right. It's time to face the grumble, grumble. Oh, nice positioning. Going to phase 2.
Yeah, with the Tempered Sword, this fight will go quickly. But
Now for phase 3. Going smooth. Rolling finishing. Try next. And Simo entering GT.
yeah, Simo's into GT. Rollin Tank here should be pretty close behind.
Now phase 4 for Ganon. We had a 6. We didn't get the torch glitch.
I don't think that's going to be too much of a... Ooh, just missing the triple, but there it is.
There you go. Bearing something bad, guys. GG.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to get the GGs in chat. Just a 3 pixel wide bridge for Days Cloud left to traverse, and that'll do it. Days Cloud going to be our 5th place finisher overall. Official SRL time 1 hour 34 and 31 seconds. To go back, Blaine, our 1st place finisher overall. We're going to be listing a couple of the non-restreamed runners in this daily race. His official SRL time 1 hour 25 minutes 39 seconds. A couple minutes behind was Yoshi. Second place, 1 hour 28 minutes 32 seconds. Pitsuyan 1337. Our 3rd place finisher, 1 hour 31 and 56 seconds. Fear Agent, our 4th place finisher, 1 hour 34 and 23 seconds. Just 8 seconds separating Dazed Cloud and Fear Agent for 4th and 5th.
Very close indeed.
And it looks like we have a 6th place finisher as well, D-Demolisher 1. 1 hour 35 minutes 14 seconds.
They're finishing now. Do we have Days Cloud for an interview?
Yeah, I think Days Cloud is maybe just taking a little bit of a break. He's in the Discord waiting to move up in. Whenever he wants to jump in, he's more than welcome to do so.
Yeah, it was a stressful seat. That ice rut in that place.
So now I'm a little curious as to what was actually on the pedestal, because all of our items, aside from the blue boomerang, are all accounted for at this point.
Butter sword, perhaps?
Yeah, it looks like heard an intruder alarm, I believe, joined by Days.
GG Days, GG.
Uh-oh. No, we can't hear you, Dazed. I can see the green light, but it looks like might have your mic muted.
You can't hear
me? Now I can hear you.
Perfectly.
Okay. No, GG there.
Yeah, well done. I must say that I blame you for killing my hopes and dreams of this seed being an Aga and Ped seed. Aside from that, well done. I think you were probably somewhere in the 2nd and 3rd place line for a good while, but then made a couple moves and paid off as you end up being our first finished restreamed runner.
That's good. Yeah, I was what to do there with the ice rod. Anytime that you have go mode ice rod, you just kind of sit there and you think about it for a minute and think about it for a minute. And I ended up hedging my bets a little bit. I probably should have just rushed TR the way that I thought I should have, but decided to check that big bomb, and then I'm thinking in my head, all right, I'm probably going to have to start searching for it, and of course, there it is on Laser Bridge, so I guess everything was okay.
Yeah, we were rooting all the time for that one. But what was your general thought of this?
Well, that was an interesting opening. One of stuff it just gave to you just right at the beginning. It was just like, here you go. Here's everything you could almost possibly want, except you need to get the boots somewhere. Good luck finding them.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal with, yeah, we're going to show you the hammer, lock it behind this, library drawer that you need the boots for, but then you don't get the boots for what felt like a good half an hour after.
Yeah, you had to go down to Hype Cave, grab the mitts, and then at that point you're trying to decide between, okay, so is it going to be in Mire, is it going to be on Death Mountain, or is it going to be behind the Smiths?
I think the Smith's chain was a whole lot of nothing.
I never did that. I was kind of dreading it just in case, just in case we were looking at go for an ice rod hunt or something like that. I was thinking in my head, that's probably a good place for it to be. So glad that never came about, though.
Well, just looking at your tracker on the restream, you were missing the blue boomerang and the shovel. So at the end
That's
of it
pretty
all,
full.
I don't think anybody found the blue boomerang, so I'm going to assume that it was either Magic Bat or Swamp Palace. We know it's not Tower of Hera, as one of the other runners went in there, potentially thinking it may have been a pedestal seed at that point. So we were down to Turtle Rock, Magic Bat, and Pedestal for the possible locations of Ice Rod.
Oh, okay. Other people checked a lot of things I didn't get to then.
Yes. Well, when, as the commentators, we get to see 4 different runners and where they go. So, combining what we knew from your stream as, what we found on other runners' streams as well, we were able to narrow it. Well, I guess Swamp Palace would have been possible as well.
I wasn't happy when I saw that mirror, honestly. It made me very concerned very quickly. I was just going, uh-oh, where did you put that ice rod game?
Oh, it was entirely for the ice rod that you had that little panic attack. Was there anywhere you were dreading it to be, or was it just the blacksmith chain that you were kind of going...
Would have been bad, or Thieves Town Big Chest would have been really bad. Having to leave that sucker behind right there made me think about it for a minute, just kind of going, I don't know if this is going to be yet, but it all worked out, so I can't really complain. I mean,
yeah,
sub 130 that if I hadn't have checked some of the other things, but 134 is not a bad time.
No, not at all. With that said, Simo, our second restreamed runner, finishing in 7th place with an official SRL time, 1 hour 42 minutes and 2 seconds. So right on your heels, although about 8 minutes behind, 7.5.
What we were discussing earlier was there wasn't an actually lead between you guys. There's someone ahead, and then someone took the spot. The plays you guys did were awesome.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to say real quick, Days? Because I think we just had an intruder alarm go off. I believe Simo's joining us in chat now here as well.
Yeah, just got done.
GG, Simo, GG.
I'm going to take off then and let him have his time. Y'all take it easy. Thank you for restreaming and tracking and commentating and everything. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, Days Cloud. Our first of the restreamed runners and 6th overall in the daily race.
GG, guys.
Looks like it was a pretty close race overall.
Yes, all the time. It was a time where we were worried because you didn't pick the power gloves in the dam.
Yeah, when I found that, I felt pretty dumb when I found it. Originally, I was planning to come back and go through Dam and Agina and Desert, but I just got sidetracked by some other stuff.
Well, it paid off when you got the gloves in Hype Cave, and then you route Dark Side Dead Mountain before everyone else.
I wished I had found something a bit better up there. Like if there was something good up there, it would have paid off really. Unfortunately, there wasn't really anything up there, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, you were actually, not that I really want to say this, you were, I think, in the lead for a good part of the early sections. You were easily the first to discern that this was an Aghanim seed. And that's what I really want to ask you about as to your thought process going toward, okay, how did you figure it out that this was an Aghanim seed, or did you just say, okay, YOLO?
I feel like when I got the fetch quest and the fetch quest led to the cape, I felt like that pointed really, really strongly towards Aghanim. So I just wanted to go for it. I wanted to be probably the first person to get into the Dark World. It took me a while to find anything there, but I was the first person.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately for you, that also led to a little bit of a time loss because of not having the first set of gloves from the dam. But I guess hindsight's 20/20, so
I think it didn't result in too much of a time loss since you still had to make the whole loop around, and I didn't really lose much from not having gloves other than having to just go swim around instead of being able to pick up that rock.
Yeah, this one in the part from T-Town where you have to go around.
Oh yeah, there too. That's another a little bit of time.
But, well, the crown jewel was, what do you think about Ice Rod being in Laser?
It's always in Turtle Rock. It's where it lives.
We had our hopes in Pet actually all the time on life support, one chest closer.
yeah, and then it all came crashing down on us. But with that all said, do you think there was anything that stood out with this run, Simo?
I mean, for me, it was just a where are the boots scene. I spent a lot of time just thinking about, okay, where are these going to be? Because you know that it's your hammer access, so you're going to get it relatively quickly. But then it wasn't really quickly at all.
Oh, yeah, you see the hammer almost straight away just sitting there in the library. Well, it felt like at least a good 45 minutes later by the time the boots show up once you get into the mire shed.
I was pretty happy to find the boots and mire shed anyways. It means I wasn't gonna have to go dip into mire there, which was gonna be my plan.
Well, that was another thing that threw me off, was Tower of Hera. Was there any real reason that you went through and cleared the Tower of Hera, or was it just full-on hunt for the ice rod?
I was clearing that out before I went into Turtle Rock, just in case, just cover my base. And part of the problem too was I had mismarked my crystals, and I thought Ice Palace was a was a pendant, and that Swamp was a crystal. So I was still looking for the mirror too.
Oh,
and then maybe
no.
you saw I did a map check when I was in Turtle Rock, and then that's when I was like, oh, okay, I just need the ice rod. Maybe I would have done things a bit differently.
Oh, that's unfortunate to hear that it happened like that. But I believe the mirror was in Ice Palace. But I believe at that point you were already in Gomo, having already finished Turtle Rock, getting the ice rod, and so on. So there was no reason for you to go exploring for it.
Yeah, because I wanted to Turtle Rock, I could at least go mode Ice Palace. So I had to climb Death Mountain again, but at least I got to save a couple minutes there.
Yeah. Well, absolutely well done, Simo. I think Rollin and Signums are waiting. So, any last words you want to say before open the floodgates and let them have a little bit of time in the sun?
I'd just like to thank you guys for the commentary and for the tracking. I appreciate it a lot. And I hope everyone here has a great day. GG's, everyone.
Oh yeah, you too. Have a good night.
Have a good night, Timo, and GG to you. Thank you for coming.
And real quick, we have a couple more runners. Old Man Sunshine, our 8th place finisher, 1 hour, 42 minutes, 55 seconds. Rollin Tankier, our 9th place finisher overall, 1 hour, 43 minutes, 14 seconds, who I believe is waiting in the Discord, as well as Signums, who was our 12th place overall finisher, 1 hour, 46 minutes, 41 seconds. Edium and Pfiffer were in between those two. Edium, our 10th place finisher, 1 hour, 45 minutes, 17 seconds. And Pfiffer, our 11th place finisher, 1 hour, 46 minutes even.
Well, guys, GG's. Roland, Signal.
GG.
What were your thoughts on the seat, Roland?
I think my comment already said everything. Why did I even doubt it? Why? I mean, usually I'm the first person to call the Ice Rod in Turtle Rock. Why didn't I do today?
I think the pressure of being the restreamed runner, you doubted yourself just that little bit. Huh?
It was I think in the end it was the combination of skipping the Thieves Town big chest with the hint there's a unique item behind the hammer. So that one really was on my mind all the time, and I was praying that please don't let that be the Ice Rod. And I basically never wanted to find the mirror, since I think I did a pretty good route overall to collect everything, at least for the seed. And by the time I found the mids, I was basically in Ice Rod hunt mode with the whole world open to me. So where to start? And I had my eyes on Ice Palace, and since there was unique item behind the hammer hint, and I was praying, whatever you are here in Ice, please don't be the mirror. Yeah.
We were rooting for a pet sheet, actually. A pet sheet when you find. Before the Ice Rod, there were a couple chests just missing for that. We were rooting for that one.
Yeah, but at that point, or for that one, I was. Pet seed isn't that likely. It can happen, but there was so much where the Ice Rod could be.
Oh yeah.
Stuff
At
to
the
check.
time the Ice Rod was found on the restream, I think we were down to Swamp Palace, Magic Bat, and Pedestal as other possible locations of the Ice Rod aside from Turtle Rock. We knew Left Side Swamp was junk. We knew Mimic Cave was junk. And Simo had gone through Tower of Hera, so we knew that was out of the way. So the locations were dwindling, with that one necessary outlier item that could be just absolutely anywhere, because aside from Trinex, you just don't need the Ice Rod for anything else.
Yeah, so it was just the classic old Ice Rod hunt, and really, finding that mirror threw me off my plans. I usually intended to do Ice Palace, then Red Bomb into Port, and then Turtle Rock. But that mirror opened up so much more that I basically said, okay, now go search for it. Find that edge, and it cost me just way more time.
Yeah, unfortunately, you finished a little over a minute behind Simo. I don't know if you were racing with anybody else in particular, but still third overall in the stream. I think you were still top 10. I think you were 9th overall out of everybody that was in this race. So definitely not a bad day at the office.
Yeah, but not a good one either, and it could have been better, and that's what's kind of getting to me. But
Yeah, true, fair enough. I mean, yeah, I think all of the restreamed runners all kind of had that one little moment where it's like, I really would have, in hindsight, liked to have had that one little decision back. I think, it happens. Hopefully, going forward, you'll learn from the experience and become a better runner for it.
I certainly hope so. And I hope that my face for Ganon next time will be back to normal, because that was agonizing. I just didn't hit him the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
All right, well, do you have any final thoughts, Rowland? Because I think Signums is waiting to join in as well. So, I figure let you have the floor, and then if you don't mind, we'll get Signums in here and close it out for the night.
Basically just go to Turtle Rock earlier and skip Thieves Town Big Chest again. Every freaking time.
You got it, kids. You know what to do now.
Yeah, nice public service announcement. Thanks to Roland Tank here. I think, let's see if Signums is ready to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure if my mic is cooperating very well or not.
Oh, it's cooperating perfectly.
Okay. Yeah, not sure if I have anything else new to say. 9 out of 10 times I go up to Turtle Rock in that situation, and there's nothing there.
Oh.
So I went and checked the stuff I thought I could do the quickest. So, yeah.
And then, of course, it ends up being Turtle Rock. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you felt was, kind of just out of place, or, a really good setup for you going through the seed?
Not really. I got lucky hitting the boots pretty quick, I thought. But
Yeah,
other than that, I don't know that there was anything else that really stands out as a great decision or anything.
You did have the advantage of the boots and then the hammer over the rest of the restreamed runners, but it seemed like the blacksmith chain might have thrown you off a little bit.
Well, I went and did that there at the end, trying to cross off stuff before I went to Turtle Rock, which, like I said, the one time I don't go to Turtle Rock, that's where the ice rod is.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of funny how it just sort of works that way.
Every other time I go up there, it's, I go all the way through, and then I gotta go and run all the way through it again a second time.
Yeah, that is unfortunate when that happens, for certain. I guess it's just kind of I guess it's not a coin flip, but sort of 50-50 in the fact that it's either in Turtle Rock or not. And, well, this time it was, so unfortunately...
And there was so many places still left to check. It just didn't feel like the good risk to go up there first.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see. There was Magic Bat. Well, I think Magic Bat opened up with Powder showing up earlier in Turtle Rock.
Yeah. I did the Smith, the chest, hammer pegs, that opened up the shovel, the Cave 45, the Pyramid Fairy. So just a lot of extra checks in there. I was really hoping not to see that mirror. That kind of really...
Yeah, that seemed to be what sunk Rallin Tankier as well, as finding the mirror, and then it's just, sorry, roadblock, time to deviate off course and
without the mirror there, I probably just go do the red bomb and then do the pyramid and then head straight up to Turtle Rock.
Seem the sensitivity to do.
What's that?
Seems the sensitive thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I still had, if it wasn't in Turtle Rock, I still had Hera and the ether tablet to check up there too. So I kind of narrowed it down to hopefully being up there and praying it wasn't in swamp.
Well, I think Simo checked Tower of Hera and the ether tablet, so we know it wasn't there. So Turtle Rock definitely would have been the stopping point for you there. But I guess it's just routing kind of letting you down this time, or was there anything else aside from the mirror that threw you off, perhaps?
Not really. I kind of skipped out on Skull Woods early, but I didn't have much equipment, and I'd rather just avoid that fight early on if I can. But I don't think that really cost me anything. So
no, I think it cost the Redarang, and that was about it. I can't remember what the other Skull Woods item was.
I think it was arrows on Mothya, I think.
Your burrito, I remember something like that.
But with 2 items in Skull Woods, it's just the boomerang, yay, and then you have to go to Mothula for the other item, which I don't know if you explored Skull Woods in detail or not, but
I cleared most of it. I did end up doing all of the front part of it. It's kind of my theory to check that first chest, and if I get the key there, to go ahead and check the other 2. If I get the small key, to go ahead and check the left side as well.
Now, were you already in hunt for Ice Rod mode at that point when you went over to Skull Woods?
Oh yeah, I was in Ice Rod mode by the time I finished Pod.
Oh, yeah, I guess a lot of
it was pretty. I was in just looking for the Ice Rod pretty early.
Yeah, because all 3 of the medallions show up early. The flute was fairly early, I think. Paradox Cave, if memory serves correctly.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So that opened up a lot of the map. The glove and Titan's mitts came in early. The dam and hype cave.
The hook shot.
Yeah, hook shot was early on. The bow was the first item I think everybody got. Mm-hmm. So that, scratches off Eastern Palace. But what finally told you that this was an Oghanim seed? I think that's
Because
the
everything
question.
else had been checked.
Oh, okay. So it was just process of elimination of.
You know,
All
I
right.
knew the hammer, knew I wasn't going to find the hammer, so it was just
Yeah.
it was literally, I think I checked everything until the except the mushroom, and that's the cape. The only thing cape opens up is at that point is Aga,
Okay.
because I went to desert really early, saw that it was boots locked. I was
Yeah,
kind of putting off going to Eastern as long as I could. See if I couldn't.
Yeah, double it up with pod.
Yeah. Especially since I knew if I found the boots early, that would give me the hammer as well, and then I would have had everything to just run right through both of them.
Now, having the regular power glove and the moon pearl didn't open anything up additionally?
Not really.
Because I think that was the situation when the runners started going, oh, well, crap, gotta do Aghanim.
Yeah, you got to have either both gloves or the hammer in a glove.
Oh, okay.
So we knew the hammer was locked
Behind the boots.
Yeah, and obviously the second glove was Hype Cave, I think.
Yeah, which needed Dark World access.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that explains it at that point. So,
yeah, and unless you had gone and traded in the mushroom earlier, you didn't even have access to go kill Aga until that point.
Yeah.
That was like literally the last item I had to check before I went to kill it. Before I could go kill him.
Yeah, Magic Bat was off the table because you would have needed the hammer to access the Magic Bat.
Well, and powder was oh yeah, we had the mushroom, but that
I
know that glitch never works right for me, so
oh, okay.
I just kind of ignore it.
For logic reasons, it's not.
Yeah, it's definitely not in logic, but it could have been a check.
Yeah, I don't mind breaking logic. It just that one just for whatever reason I never seem to get that one to work right. Like skipping the second block in the Super Bunny Cave. I just never seem to get the timing right on that one.
It's pretty fast, actually. It's not that hard, but basically just to hammer the menu button after using the cane. Yeah, you should get it.
Okay, and Signums, what was your favorite part?
Favorite part, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna do it a little different.
Getting everything except the ice rod pretty early. You just kind of do, okay, I want to go do this, then I'll go do this. I can put this off for a while. I wasn't even thinking, I almost ran into Meyer without needing to.
Yeah, I say favorite part because most of the runners just didn't like the layout of some items, so maybe something good came from it.
I didn't have any problems with that, other than the ice rod being, normal troll that it is.
Yeah, I think, when something can go wrong, it seems to go wrong. I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Signums, do you have anything else you want to say before we close it down for the night?
Nope, not really.
All right, well, I guess have a good night then, Signums.
Yep, you guys too. Thanks for restreaming me.
Thanks for participating, and awesome game.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good night.
Yep.
And just to do a little housekeeping, Marty7449, our 13th place finisher, 1 hour 50 minutes 34 seconds. Sanders316, our 14th place finisher, 1 hour 51 minutes 10 seconds. Sokol2044, our 15th place finisher, 2 hours 2 minutes 58 seconds. And I think with that, I'd like to thank our unsung heroes of the run, who are our trackers. Crash and Math Girl, I believe, were our trackers. Mr. Void was with me in the commentary tonight. I believe this was your first time doing commentary as a whole.
Yes, it is. Well, it was, and I really enjoy it, and I really appreciate the help. And I had a blast here, actually.
Well, that's good to hear. Maybe you end up doing it again sometime.
Let's hope so, and I hope I have you as my co-commentator.
Oh, come on. There's plenty of other fantastic commentators here at Speed Gaming to help you along. So I think with that all settled, most of our runners have finished. I am Frico. With me was Mr. Void. I think we're about ready to shut it down. So if you have anything else to say, now's the time for it, Mr. Void.
Well, guys, thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe, follow all our Speed Gaming channels. Hope to see you soon again, and have a great night, everyone.
Absolutely. Have a good night, everybody.